If you're ready to learn the ins and outs of doing payroll, or if you're deciding whether to outsource or keep it in-house, then this video is your ultimate guide. We're going to break down basic steps involved in handling payroll so you can confidently decide whether to take on the challenge or outsource it to the pros. All right, let's begin with the steps required to run payroll. The process can be complex and time-consuming, but it's definitely possible if you have the right tools and knowledge. Registering your business. If you have a business, you've likely already registered with the Secretary of State where you're operating. You'll also need to apply for an employer identification number, aka an EIN, which is a unique 9-digit number that identifies your business for tax purposes. And it enables your business to file tax returns, apply for business licenses and permits, along with opening bank accounts. You can think of this as a social security number for your business. Applying for an EIN is free through the IRS, and you should not pay for any service claiming to obtain an EIN on your behalf. It is also important to note that the EIN is a permanent number and does not expire. If your business structure or ownership changes, you may need to apply for a new EIN. In case you lose or misplace your EIN, you can contact the IRS to obtain a copy. You can apply for an EIN by any one of the following methods: online, by phone, by fax, or by mail. We'll drop links in the description where you can do this. There will be additional state registrations depending on where you're operating and where you have employees. Step number 2, set up your payroll system. Using a spreadsheet or payroll software can help you keep track of employees' hours, wages, and taxes accurately. With these tools, you can also track employee benefits, sick days, and vacation time. When setting up the payroll system, you'll need to create employee records containing their names, addresses, social security numbers, and withholding information located on the forms W-4. It's important to keep these records updated to ensure the payroll calculations are done accurately. Step 3, determine employee wages. Employee wages can be calculated based on an hourly, salaried, or commission rate. You'll need to decide on the appropriate payment method and then calculate the gross pay for each pay period. Hourly employees will have different gross pay for each pay period, depending on the number of hours worked. Salaried workers, on the other hand, will remain the same for each pay period, provided they are exempt from FLSA rules, while commission-based workers will also have varying gross pay depending on their sales or other metric. Step 4, calculate employee taxes. As an employer, you are responsible for withholding taxes from each employee's paycheck. Federal income tax, Social Security tax, and Medicare tax are the main taxes to be withheld. You'll need to refer to IRS Publication 15 to determine the correct tax rates and withholding amounts if you don't already have a tax software. The amount to be withheld depends on the employee's gross pay, pay frequency, and withholding allowances. Many states also have income tax and may have other local taxes as well. Step 5, calculate employer taxes. Employers must pay their portion of Social Security and Medicare taxes. In addition, you'll likely need to pay federal and state unemployment taxes. All these taxes are calculated based on employee wages, and you'll need to keep track of them to include them in your payroll expenses. Some states have additional employer taxes that you are also required to pay. Number 6, issue paychecks. After calculating each employee's net pay, it's time to issue paychecks or set up direct deposit to their bank accounts. Make sure that the paychecks are delivered on time and that direct deposit information is kept confidential. Direct deposit is considered a payroll deduction, and you should have a signed form from each employee authorizing this payment method, along with the bank account they wish to use. Step 7, file payroll taxes. You'll need to file payroll tax returns and make payments to the IRS and state tax agencies on a regular basis. You may need to pay or file semi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually, depending on the amount of the tax payments and the particular form you're filing. Keep accurate records of all payroll transactions, including employee time cards, used to calculate gross pay to ensure compliance and avoid penalties. Step number 8, keep up to date with tax laws and regulations. Tax laws and regulations can change frequently, and they can differ from state to state, so make sure you stay up to date with the latest developments, not only with federal authorities, but also with your relevant states. Subscribe to Payroll and local newsletters, attend seminars, or hire a tax professional to ensure that your payroll system complies with current federal, state, and local tax laws. Failing to comply with these tax laws can result in hefty penalties and legal issues. If you're feeling ready to tackle payroll in-house, I recommend some of our other articles and videos that go even more in-depth in providing information on these steps. On the other hand, if you're feeling overwhelmed or just want to save time and ensure accuracy, you may want to consider hiring a professional payroll service. Let's talk about the pros and cons of both an in-house approach as well as working with a professional payroll service provider like CSI Accounting and Payroll. Pros of in-house payroll. Control. You have complete control over the process and can make changes as needed. Flexibility. You could set your own schedule and do payroll when it's convenient for you. Cons of in-house payroll. Time-consuming. Doing payroll can take a lot of time and can take you or an employee away from other important tasks. Complexity. Tax laws and regulations, they can be hard to understand and really difficult to stay on top of. Risk of errors. If you make mistakes with payroll, it could lead to penalties and fines from the government. Besides that, the time spent finding and fixing these errors can cost you even more. Cost. Taking all factors into consideration, including cost of software, supplies, business owner's time, or paying an employee, actually makes in-house payroll the more expensive option. Now, option 2, outsourcing payroll to a professional service. If you're considering hiring a professional payroll service, there are a few things to keep in mind. A professional service can take care of all your payroll needs, from calculating wages and taxes to issuing paychecks and direct deposits. Pros of outsourcing payroll. Cost. All things considered, outsourcing your payroll is less expensive. Expertise. A professional service has the expertise and knowledge to handle payroll accurately and efficiently. Reduce risk. Professional services reduce the risk of errors and ensure compliance with tax laws and regulations. If something goes wrong, a good payroll provider will resolve the issues quickly. And if it's their fault, they'll do it without cost. Cons of outsourcing payroll. Less control. Processes and procedures are determined by the payroll provider. Flexibility. You may need to work within your payroll provider's schedule. Many of today's payroll providers use systems that now allow employers more control and flexibility than ever before. So, which option is best for your small business? In-house or outsourcing payroll? The answer depends on your specific needs and goals. If you want greater control over payroll-related data, processes, and timing, in-house payroll may be the better option. However, if you want to save time and money, outsourcing payroll may be a more efficient choice. Now, regardless of which option you choose, it's important to ensure that your payroll is accurate and compliant with tax laws and regulations. Make sure you do your research and choose a reputable service provider if you decide to go that route. If you're ready to take the next step, schedule a free consultation with us. Or take a look at some of our other resources where you can find the answers to all your accounting and payroll questions. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more tips, tricks, and advice for managing your small business. Thanks for watching.